Hey up, Davey H here. Today we're talking about stage fright. You suffer from stage fright? Well, you are not alone. It's incredibly common. In fact, some experts estimate that 77% of people suffer from some form of anxiety in regards to public speaking. Some of the biggest artists in the world suffer from stage fright. I don't know if it's actually possible to overcome performance anxiety. All I know is that I never have done. But what I have done is learn how to deal with it. Step 1, you've got to play in front of someone. If you want to become a performing musician, then you are gonna have to play in front of some people. It took me years to build up the courage to play live, and I can honestly say that playing live has made me a better musician. But you do not need to dive into the deep end with this. Take as smaller steps as you feel you need to. Play in front of a friend, play in front of a small group of friends, play in front of a family member, hell, play in front of your dog. But you do need to take that leap and play in front of someone. I wouldn't recommend doing what I did. I had this friend that was a singer-songwriter, and he was an experienced performer, so I had a word with him about us playing one of his songs together at this acoustic open mic night. I turned up at the venue, I put our names down to play, and I went and sat on the front row and just watched people play. Our names were finally called out. Now, I'd been sitting in the front row, so I hadn't realised how busy the place had become, so all these people were staring at me. I felt my face start glowing bright red, my heartbeat and my breathing just started to go faster and faster and faster, and I felt like I was going to pass out. And my mate wasn't there. So I sat there on the stage all by myself, desperately trying to think of something that I could play. All I could think of was this little acoustic thing I'd been coming up with over the last week. It was far too difficult for me to play, and it wasn't finished yet. Now, the reason I'm telling you this isn't to put you off. I just want you to learn from my mistakes. For me, this was starting far too big. I was in an environment that I'd never been to before. I didn't know anyone there. I was completely alone, and I was completely unprepared. Step 2, play something that you find easy to play. It's your first time performing. You're probably going to be feeling pretty nervous, and that's completely normal. But why would you want to put yourself under more pressure by playing something that's really difficult to play? If your maximum level of ability is up here, then you shouldn't be playing anything anywhere near that level of ability when you play live for the first time. You should be playing something that isn't challenging at all. You should be playing something that's right down here in your comfort zone. I found myself in a situation trying to play something far too difficult for me to play in front of 70 plus strangers, and I hated it so much that I didn't play live again for at least another year. Step 3, you've got to keep doing it. We learn from experience, so you need to start racking up that 10,000 hours, so keep getting up there. In hindsight, I'd just gotten up on stage by myself and played the guitar for a room full of strangers. As a guy who grew up horrendously shy, this was huge. I should have been so proud of myself, and I should have learnt from my experience, come back the following week more prepared, and done it again. Some people have no problem with this at all, and I'm really envious of these people. They just seem to feel the adrenaline rush that you get from performing, and then just want to get back up there and do it again and again. I hated it so much. I was so scared to get back up on that stage and do it again, and the longer I left it, the more this experience manifested itself into my mind. I started to go to this acoustic night every week, but just as an audience member, enjoying other people's performances, and it was a really nice place to be. It was a great atmosphere. And as I gradually got to know people, because I was a regular there, I'd start sticking around after the place had closed at like the lock-ins and things. And when I was there, I would gladly pick up a guitar and people would listen to me. The guy who ran the acoustic night would tell me that I should be playing on that stage during the nights. So he said that if I'm coming to these acoustic nights every week, he's calling me up whether I like it or not. And this was the kick up the arse I needed for me to finally take this third step and keep getting up on that stage. Step 4, make yourself feel as comfortable as you can while you build up your confidence and your experience. You want to try and make this into something that you can enjoy doing and not dread doing. So try and make it as comfortable as possible for yourself. Play songs that you know really well. Hell, play the same song every week if it makes you feel better. I've known lots of people do this. It's absolutely fine. Because I'd gotten to know so many people at this acoustic night, there was always someone that was happy for me to get up on stage with them to play a song every week. I felt most comfortable when I was playing with someone else. It made me feel a lot better knowing that not all the eyes were on me. I was writing my own song, but I didn't feel comfortable sharing them with people I knew yet. I actually thought it'd be easier for me to play them for strangers. Everyone always told me that the more you play live, the easier it gets to play live. And it was feeling easier. I mean, I was doing it every single week, which is why I felt I was ready to book some solo gigs. When I started playing these solo gigs, It was like going back to square one. I had the exact same performance anxiety. I think I'd become comfortable in this safe space I created for myself. I was playing for people that I knew every week and I was in a familiar environment. This made me realise something very important. My performance anxiety wasn't something I was going to overcome. It wasn't going to go away the more I did it. It was something that I was going to have to learn to deal with. I'd had loads of experience playing live now, so I knew I could do it. It was going to be my approach to playing live that had to change. This mindset change was a revelation. This made it a challenge. It was the exact same as when learning to play an instrument. You learn things, you practice things, you get better at things. It's not just the time you put in, it's the approach you take to learning. Step 5. Prepare for everything. The first actionable thing that you can do is to be prepared. There will always be mistakes in every single show that you do, but the more prepared you are, the less chance there is of these mistakes being total car crashes. A huge catalyst that brought on my anxiety was to do with talking on stage. So I started to prepare 3 simple things to say every show. Hi, my name's Dave and I'm going to play you a few songs. Thank you. This next song is a song that I've written called Stage Fright. Thank you. This is going to be my last song. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone, and thanks very much for listening. Such simple things to say, but knowing that these were the only things that I had to say made me feel and present myself with so much more confidence. Step 6. Practice everything. To me, a gig is a high pressure situation, so I did some research on people that hold high pressure positions like doctors, engineers, pilots, astronauts, and I thought I'd look up how they accomplish what they do efficiently. The answer was surprisingly simple. They rely on systems to simplify what they have to do. They train and they practice these systems or protocols so that they're second nature and they don't miss anything. I started to try and create some systems of my own that I could follow when I was on stage, and then I could practice these systems until they became habits. I started to practice for a show as if I was playing the show. I would even have a microphone set up that wasn't plugged in just to help me visualize the performance, and I could get a feel for what it was going to be like on stage. I would start by walking up to my guitar as if I was approaching the stage at the start of the gig. Then I'd put my guitar on, I'd reach into my back right pocket to grab a pick. If there wasn't one there for whatever reason, I'd go to my back left pocket for a spare. If there wasn't one there for whatever reason, then I'd go to my front left pocket and so on. Then I would look into the crowd. Now, I didn't feel comfortable making eye contact, so I would picture just looking over the heads of the audience, so it would appear like I was giving eye contact, and I would look across the whole crowd from left to right and smile. I'd then turn on my pedal tuner and check my tuning. If for whatever reason my pedal tuner wasn't working, I'd turn on my headstock tuner, and then I would test the tuning by strumming a G major chord, and then I would step up to the microphone. I would look across the audience again, but this time from right to left. I'd wave with my right hand and I would say the words, "Hi, my name's Dave and I'm going to play you a few songs." Now, this might seem a bit overkill to a confident performer, but this changed the way that I handled my stage fright. It was almost like I didn't have time to feel it anymore. I didn't have time to panic at all because I always had things to do. I always had this list, this protocol sheet that I was following step by step, and it made me enjoy playing live. I wasn't just performing songs anymore. I was performing my entire set, just like an actor who's learnt the script. Most of my systems or checklists were designed to make me appear more confident, so I never came across like a robot by following them, and I would deviate from the list. But knowing what I was doing at all times meant that I didn't panic anymore. I would start coming up with checklists and practice routines for if certain unexpected things happened. I would prepare and practice some jokes to tell just in case someone said, "Tell a joke." This has happened more than you'd expect. I'd even prepared and practiced for if someone requested a song and I knew the song, or I didn't know the song. I don't always need to go through these full practice routines anymore because I'm quite experienced and I've gone through them so much that they're quite ingrained in my mind now. But I will still mentally prepare and visualize a performance before playing. It really is your own journey that you have to go on. The biggest thing for me in all of this journey was realizing that I wouldn't overcome my stage fright. It was something that I had to learn to deal with. I stopped waiting for it to go away and I started taking action to learn how to handle it. Now, I would never say that I am a confident performer, but I've worked very hard to become comfortable at performing. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.